Good evening, everyone. I'm Georgia Davis, and welcome to AZ Illustrated Nature. Coming up next on this program, we'll tell you about locally grown, sustainable food. Learn about aquaponics operations in the Tucson area. It's a fish and plant combination that could be the wave of the future. Also, a visual artist talks about one of her favorite subjects. She says, ravens are beautiful and intelligent. But first, here's a look at the day's headlines.
The Arizona House gave preliminary approval this afternoon to a bill allowing the state to purchase the land where the Granite Mountain hotshots were killed battling last year's Yarnell Hill fire. The House is setting aside $500,000 to buy the property so a memorial can be put up. Sponsors of the proposal say they don't expect to spend the full amount of the appropriation. They also say families of the 19 firefighters killed in the blaze are interested in buying the property. The actual memorial would be paid for with private donations. A final vote on the bill will happen in the coming days. A new survey from the National Park Service shows that nearly 10 million people visited national park land in Arizona in 2012. The report says those visitors spent nearly $750 million during their visits and helped support more than 11,000 jobs in Arizona. The National Park Service maintains 20 properties in the state, including the Grand Canyon and Saguaro National Parks, Tumacacori National Historic Park, and Organ Pipe National Monument. According to the report, Saguaro National Park generates $37 million for southern Arizona, including more than 500 jobs. And 3 Arizona cities made a top 60 list for the best places to find a job. Wallet Hub lists Mesa at number 9, Phoenix at 14, and Tucson at 54. And that's a look at tonight's headlines.
Many people are making a concerted effort to know more about the food they eat, often choosing locally grown products that can be raised under controlled conditions and are much closer to the consumer. Next, we take you to a farm near Tucson that is raising fish and growing plants in a compatible combination that is getting attention. This story is produced by reporter Tony Paniagua and photojournalist Bob Lindbergh.
This section of the Sonoran Desert northwest of Tucson is home to a huge experiment that may play a role on your food supply in the future. The experiment is bold and bright, green and growing, wet and fishy, literally. It's happening at Maggie's farm in Avra Valley, where owner Brian Sternberg is exploring a topic that expands on his traditional expertise about the produce industry. Sternberg is trying to transform this former nursery into a full-fledged aquaponics operation, which explains the research and experiments at this site.
It's a work in progress. We're at the very beginning of the aquaponic movement in the United States, and it's coming along. I think every year it's getting bigger and bigger.
In aquaponics, fish that can be used for food are raised in tanks, but their water does not stay in these containers or is replaced, such as in aquarium systems. The water from the fish flows to a filtration system or another tank. From there, the filtered water is transferred to a third tank where the fish water fertilizes growing plants. The water from the plant's trough is sent back to the original tank with the fish, where the cycle begins all over again.
Here is the main heart of our system. We have the fish tanks, and the fish live in here. The water moves through biofilters. And from the biofilters, it goes through our 18 grow tanks, or troughs. And this is the heart of our operation.
And the plant's vigor and growth may surprise you. They sit on floating rafts where they get all the water they might need. Their roots grow long and healthy, taking advantage of the fish waste fertilized water and helping to filter it in the process. Aquaponics relies on this fish and plant combination. It is not hydroponics, which may sound similar but incorporates a different concept.
Aquaponics, all the nutrients are supplied by the fish. Hydroponics is you're taking the nutrients and adding it to the water and bringing the levels up, where the aquaponics is controlled. You're controlling how much food is going in for the fish and how much food is going, through the system and reaching the plants.
Sternberg is a Tucson native who's been working in the produce industry for decades. He retired from his former company in 2006, but he couldn't stay away from the green stuff. In 2010, he heard the land here was for sale, so he decided to dig in again and get his hands dirty once more.
I would like to provide, local fresh produce that we know that's safe to eat, and try to build a sustainable farm.
His small team of employees includes his son Aaron and Sandy Bales.
They're starting to eat quite a bit now. So.
Sandy Bales is the main propagation grower who has years of experience in this field.
Let's mix up some more soil and we'll start seeding.
Okay, sounds good.
We're getting ready to seed some butterhead lettuce. I'm lucky enough to have a cement mixer to mix all my soil together. It makes things go a lot faster for me. And we mix it up and then we fill pots up, and we usually do 30 flats a time. Each one of these flats holds 64 plants in it.
I honestly think people need to learn that gardening's easier than people think, and with a little bit of knowledge you can go a long way, and it's actually really fun, getting outdoors, and it's real enjoyable. And another thing is the aquaponics I think is a real great future, self-sustainability. And I think people need to learn a little bit more about, like, if you put your mind to it and your hands to it, you can really get a lot going, and you can be really self-sufficient and grow your own product. And fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, and you even got fish.
How to market and sell the fish is part of the experiment. Most American consumers want fillets, not the whole animal.
That's the challenge that we're coming up against, where to move our fish now that we're producing some. And it's a work in progress, and we have challenges and some success, and it's a matter of trying every day, trying something a little different until we find the right avenue to move them. It's an adventure, and it's something every day we're learning something new. After running it for a couple of years, it's a living system that we always have to adjust something to it, and it's a daily thing, and it's like living with a pet.
And in the future, he says, this aquaponics farm may undergo yet another transformation.
I think it's going to evolve into a mix of both educational and production. I think it's a starting point for other people to see that it is doable, and maybe it'll give somebody an inspiration to try to do it in their home and start a food movement.
A food movement west of Tucson where water, work, and will may result in success.
We continue the conversation about aquaponics with two guests. Casey Townsend is a longtime backyard gardener who founded Tucson Aquaponics Project. Kathleen Williamson is a performing songwriter in Tucson who is trying out aquaponics at home. Thanks to both of you for coming in. And as you know, I'm really excited about this because I've been wanting to do this in my own home, and I have not succeeded so far at the tries that I've made. So let's start with you, Casey. How doable is aquaponics?
I like aquaponics because it's really pretty easy, and it's very successful once you get your system up and running. So unlike trying to throw lots of water onto the soil here in Arizona and deal with our blast furnace summers, aquaponics is really easy to do once people make the initial investment to do it.
So, and this is something I want to talk to you really right off the bat about, because it does require water. We live in a desert. So my first inclination is, wow, I'm going to be pumping a lot of water through these plants. That's not what's...
No, because you have a fish tank that has the water in it for the fish, and you take the fish water to grow the plants, usually in a separate growing area. And then it recirculates back to the fish, because when the plants grow them and use the nutrients out of the water, it cleans the water for the fish. So it's all contained and recirculating. So my soil-based gardens, I can put 30 to 50 gallons a week on one, and the same size aquaponics garden, I can put 10 to 15 gallons a week.
So it's actually much more efficient.
It is.
All right. So Kathleen, you've been gardening for a number of years. So tell me a little bit about the different types of farming that you have done, and then how aquaponics kind of stacks
Well, just
up.
briefly, I started out in the 70s in Jerome with a goat farm, and I had chickens and goats fertilizing the soil and growing food up there. But then when I came to Tucson in '86, I found that I could put hundreds of dollars of water on a tomato plant and end up with one shrivelly, not inedible tomato. And so a couple of years ago, I found this property down by A Mountain. It's nice soil, and I have about a 200 square foot garden there now. It's doing well, and I also experimented with straw bale gardening. But when I found out about aquaponics and that closed symbiotic system and how little water you need, and you don't have to buy artificial fertilizers and so forth, plus I want to eat the fish, it just made perfect sense, and I'm really excited about it. I have my pH really together, it's great, and I'm starting out with bacteria that's already there because the tanks were running before, and so I'm going to buy my fish tomorrow, about 30 small 1-inchers, and pop them in there, and I'm just ready to go. I'm very excited about it, and I think it's actually quite easy in a lot of ways. If you can have a small aquarium at home successfully of live-bearing fish and or grow food in a garden, you're smart enough to do aquaponics.
Although you're talking about things now like pH and bacteria, so I'm going to come back to you because this is suddenly not sounding quite so easy.
Well, like anything new, there's a little bit of a learning curve. So one of the things we do is we have a monthly meeting that's free and open to the public every month. You can Google or go to Tucson Aquaponics and Meetup, and there's all our classes. And we actually teach a half-hour introductory class, what is aquaponics? And then we have another time for some questions and answers, and then we have feature presentations afterwards. But that barely scratches the surface. So what we do is at least once a month we offer a 3-hour class. We teach people what is aquaponics, is it right for you, where do you get more information, how do you get started, and we start answering some of these questions about water quality and what kind of fish and what kind of plants and all those kind of things.
Okay, well, so let's talk about what you have in front of you, because that's beautiful. That's so much better than anything I've grown so far.
So this is an example of an aquaponically grown buttercrunch head lettuce. And the amazing thing with this is it's grown on a styrofoam raft floating in the water. So there's a little net pot you'll see. And the roots actually dangle down below the raft into the water. So if I lift this up.
It's amazing. Look at that.
These are the roots that come out of the raft for the aquaponics plant. So
it's like
the idea there's a little pot here the roots grow through, dangles in the water, and the nutrients are provided by the fish and the fish waste and the uneaten fish food. And you know, this is what we sell. My wife and I have a small business, and we sell this at a farmer's market every Sunday.
So when we have a system, how much of the system, or how much is it returning produce versus returning fish?
Generally, the 80-20 rule applies. 20% of what you get out of a system is fish, but 80% is the plants. So whether it's leaf lettuce or tomatoes or peppers or even edible flowers, for example, and lots of herbs and spices you can get aquaponically. Really about the only thing we don't grow is potatoes and stuff like that are root crops, but we're experimenting with ways to do that, and it looks like those are going to be successful experiments.
Really? Interesting. So Casey, first, or Kathleen, sorry, I'd like to hear first, how big is your system? Like how much square feet or are you?
I have a 275-gallon fish tank. And then, of course, hoses. There's gravity going down to 4 more tanks that are basically the 275 tanks. They're IBC liquid tote tanks. And the others are cut in half. And I learned a lot of this from Casey, actually, and Stefan. And so the water gravity feeds down to these other 4 tanks. And then there's a sump at the bottom of the lowest one. And it circulates the now clean water due to the plants back up to the fish tank.
So for someone who doesn't have a lot of space, because we just saw a large system in the package before, that takes up some space.
3,000 square feet, yes.
Right. So are there some other options?
There are. Now, the first thing I want to say is there are a lot of countertop systems that are being advertised on the internet. They don't really work very well. They're going to fill with algae. If you ever run an aquarium before, you know, it's a lot of work. So if you really want to grow food for your family, you're looking probably for an outdoor or greenhouse system that's about 4 foot by 6 foot minimum. 4 by 20 is a common size. 8 by 25 is really enough for a family of 4.
Really? Well, that's not so bad.
Mine's about 4 by 24, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, and of course, though, as you were saying beforehand, you want to grow a head of lettuce, you have to consider how much space that in itself is going to take. So you were also telling me about schools. So a number of schools are getting involved in
Yes, it's really exciting what aquaponics does when the kids literally get their hands wet. Because, for example, Monzo Elementary School here in Tucson, they've won national awards for their urban agriculture and other things. And so even their first and second graders are learning mathematics, they're learning how to write properly, do scientific reports, because they're doing the science fair projects, they're doing the show and tell. They're trying to figure out how much food do I feed these fish, and they have to learn how to weigh it and things. And so what they're learning academically by taking care of the plants and the fish is really very exciting. And of course that goes all the way through high school as well. There's many high schools here in town that are having, they're actually building aquaponic greenhouses.
So this is really not just a fad. This is really maybe a long-term trend.
Well, the way I say it is aquaponics is the way food's going to be grown in the future, starting now.
Interesting. And how much does it cost you to get your system up and running?
Well, I bought mine used from these friends, so it hasn't been that expensive. I'd say I probably paid about $800 for the system itself. And tomorrow I'm going to pay $1 for each one of those 1-inch tilapia. Get some food, and then I want to start producing some of my own food, get some minnows and some duckweed, and try to keep it everything as self-sufficient as possible. I don't see it as being all that expensive, especially compared to how much water I would put on the ground. I mean, I'm going to only use about 10% of the water I would normally dump into a garden.
All right. Well, and briefly, unfortunately, we're running out of time, but buyer does need to beware, from what I understand.
They
right?
do. If you go on the internet, like anything, there are scams. So there are people that'll tell you how to build their systems and stuff. So what we say is come to our monthly meetings, first Tuesday of every month at the U of A, and we can teach you what works here in Tucson. We've got 3-4 years of experience growing stuff locally in aquaponic systems in Tucson, and we can tell you what works, what doesn't work, and what works best for us.
Okay. And then one great story, got to bring this up. You were telling me about a jacuzzi that has been repurposed?
Well, if you go on Craigslist, you'll see there are a lot of people in Tucson actually doing this. Like if I type in tilapia, I found all these people that were selling tilapia. And so I found somebody who actually got a repurposed jacuzzi out of FreeCycle, and he's using it for his aquaponics system.
All right, fun. Wow. So we can have a lot of fun, grow some food, feed our family. All right, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Georgia.
Thank you.
So, and of course, you can join us next week. We're going to continue our look at local aquaponics, the local movement. Tony Paniagua will tell us about 2 different businesses that are spreading the word and their knowledge about these food-producing systems.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next News Hour, the Supreme Court weighs how states determine if a person is mentally fit to be executed. That's Monday on the PBS News Hour.
Paris is a city shaped by kings. One said he wanted it to be dedicated to pleasure.
In the public gardens, men and women would meet with each other and flirt, men handing women flowers. So there's a way of enjoying the city that began.
I'm Linda Wertheimer. How Paris became Paris on the next morning edition from NPR News.
We've been telling you about locally produced foods such as fish and vegetables. And if you'd like to learn more about agriculture in our region, you'll get a good opportunity in just a few days. The town of Marana's 36th annual Founders Festival is this Saturday, March 8th. Among the many activities is a chance to learn about the Marana Farmers Co-op, which will be open 7 days a week. We spoke with its founder, local farmer Dan Arnold.
We're a local farmer here in Marana, and there's several of us here in Marana, Pima County, and Cochise, Santa Cruz County. And I noticed that we were all spending a lot of time and money to promote and sell our products, and we were all individually purchasing products. So I did some research, and we figured out that it would be a better idea if we formed a co-op and we did all of our things together. As an example, this store, we have a place now that all the farmers that belong to the co-op, and it's free membership to belong to the co-op. It doesn't cost you anything. You can bring your stuff here to sell your products. We co-op advertise. We buy feed, irrigation supplies, equipment for the farm. We buy that as a co-op now rather than an individual to get better bulk rates, better freight prices, just to save money overall. And it may not amount to a lot on individual items, but every dollar counts when you're a small farmer. We have aquaponic lettuce, tilapia, various herbs and plant starts. We carry honey, we carry canned goods, jarred goods, olives, olive oil. A lot of the products that are made from products from the co-op members. The jams and jellies like the cucumbers, the pickles are grown by the farmers co-op, and another co-op member makes them. One of the salsas that we sell is all grown by us, and he uses all of our products. See, handcrafted goods, those particular ones there, those gourds are grown here on this farm. The lady takes those, handcrafts those gourds, and makes things out of those and sells those also. So, works out really well. Those are American black-belly sheep. They're a hair sheep, not a wool sheep. They're grown for meat, not for wool. In such, the fat in it doesn't have lanolin, so you don't have that mutton or sheep taste in them. It's a very, very lean meat. It's all natural, all grass-fed, all grain-fed when they're feeding their babies. That particular sheep is disease-resistant, pest-resistant. They're given because of that, they're given no antibiotics, no worm treatments. They're given nothing from the time of birth till the time they go to slaughter. It's all natural. We don't do a certified organic program. That's a specialty program through the USDA. Some of our members are USDA certified, some of us are not. We grow all natural, no pesticides, no herbicides. Dad's farm, which is this farm, we grow for our kids and our grandkids. And that's really our biggest thing. We grow for taste and quality, and that's how the majority of the members of the co-op grow. We started the co-op again so that you can go to a farmer's market, you can read a book, you can read online of things. Here at this farmer's market, you can actually come and see what it is about your product. If you want to see grass-fed animals, or you want to see how your produce is grown, or you want to see where citrus comes from and the plants, this is a good way to come see that and find out again what your food really is all about.
Arizona is home to a wide variety of birds living in many different habitats. And now we'll tell you about one large and intelligent specimen that is very common in some areas. The raven may not be on many bird watchers' bucket lists, but its fans say the species deserves more attention and praise. For one, the bird is often connected to cultural mythology and folklore. Tony Paniagua has an interview about ravens with a visual artist and award-winning author.
Beth Surdut, thank you very much for joining us.
I'm so pleased to be here.
So we in Arizona are blessed with having many species of birds. Typically people consider the hummingbird, for example, roadrunners, as very attractive, interesting species, but you love ravens. How did this interest begin?
Well, I think ravens are attractive, interesting species. It began with a visit to the Southwest, where raven, as I call ravens, a raven with a capital R, kept planting himself in front of me and did everything but cross his wings and tap his foot and say, "So when are you coming?" So I started drawing ravens to get to know the bird. And my drawings actually qualify as scientific illustration, although I didn't realize that when I started. Along with that, as a writer, I was interested in the history of ravens and found that they fly through time and culture. Pre-Babylonian myths have ravens. The Lascaux Cave has ravens in it. And as I read about them, I realized that, they show up in creation myths. They show up as mirrors as our good and sort of lowest chakra, basest selves. Raven often gets into trouble and gets punished for it, even chopped up into little pieces, and manages to put himself back together again. Also, ravens are big birds. They have about a 4-foot wingspan. Most of the ravens that I draw are Corvus corax, which is the common raven. And if you look at them closely, they're not even black. They're the colors of emeralds and sapphires. You'll see them, they'll look silver up in the sky because of the reflective quality. And at this point, thank goodness, they are not endangered any more than the entire planet is.
So you are working on a book, Listening to Raven?
Yes, I am.
And I should mention it won a literary award for nonfiction in the 2013 Tucson Festival of Books. Congratulations.
Thank you. That was such a delight. The book festival here is truly unique, as you know, and one of my favorite things to come to.
So how did the award come about if the work is in progress?
It was based on a 20-page illustrated piece of the book. So that's how it won.
Oh, okay, great. So what would you like to say to people about observing ravens? And for example, you were telling me they have interesting calls, they make interesting sounds.
Well, they have a fairly large vocabulary. They're also imitators. You can hear them, if you have a burbling fountain, you can hear them mimic the burbling fountain. But traditionally, they kind of sound like they've got gravel in the back of their throat. I think of them as Demosthenes of the bird world. And so they sound like that. And so you will see me walking along and all of a sudden I'll see a raven and I'll make that sound and people, look, what is she looking at? And the what is she looking at has become pretty important in my work because my enthusiasm now has people who never looked at birds, never mind ravens in particular, coming and bringing me wonderful stories.
And part of those stories are spiritual stories. They involve that sense of their lives as well.
A surprising number of spiritual stories, which is actually how the book evolved, because each individual story is unique to the person who tells it to me, but I started to see chapters. And I was surprised how many stories had to do with Raven coming as a comforter after somebody dies, because traditionally we hear of raven as a portent of death. Nobody has ever brought me a story like that, just the opposite.
And I guess we're lucky here in southern Arizona and New Mexico and other parts of the world that ravens are perhaps not abundant, but you can see them. You can usually spot them out there.
A filmmaker who did a film that I was part of called Invitation to the Muse said to me, "So where do you hunt ravens?" And I said, "Look up," or the local dumpster, because they're the smartest bird. They've got a really big brain, and so you see them eating roadkill. They're equal opportunity eaters that need to feed that brain. And they'll also, if you look at them closely, they don't have a hook on the end of their beak. And so they can't rip apart food. So they will pair with a larger predator like a wolf or a coyote, and the raven will be the spotter. And so the raven sees an animal in distress, goes find wolf and coyote, gives an alarm call and says, "Look what I found." And so they work together and they both eat.
So the raven says, if you do the killing, I'll do some of the eating as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. And then we were speaking about this at the beginning of the interview about how so many people think they're just a drabby color. But in your drawings, you illustrate lots of complexity in their coloring. What would you like to say about that?
Well, my drawings start out as pen and ink, and then I go in with colored pencil and add color because I see the blue. Often you see a bluish tone, you'll see amethyst purpley colors, you'll see a little bit of green, and because nature is reflective. So they're not just a black bird, they're certainly not dull, they're very smart, and they're very funny. And they like to play. They like to play tricks. If there's snow, which I know is something you don't like to see in Tucson, they'll roll down a snowbank. And because it's so much fun, like a little kid, they'll go back up and they'll roll down the snowbank again. And they love junk food. And they can recognize the junk food logo. If you put out a McDonald's bag and you put out a brown paper bag with fries, they're going to go for the McDonald's bag.
So very intelligent. And then finally, what would you say to somebody who's never really paid any attention to these birds or other birds? We were speaking about the fact that bats used to get a terrible rap, and now more people are respecting them. They're respecting ravens, rattlesnakes even. What would you like to say, just a synopsis of this?
I would say that every living thing is worth paying attention to. And that's all I ask people to do, is to look at what's right in front of them. And once you start watching them, they become so very interesting, and we are connected to them.
Fantastic. Beth Surdut, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
You can also hear artist Beth Surdut on this week's Arizona Spotlight. She will talk about the spiritual aspects of the raven stories she has been collecting in southern Arizona. Arizona Spotlight airs this Friday at 8:30 in the morning and again at 6 in the evening on our sister radio station, NPR 89.1 FM. And that's our show. To keep up with the latest news or to watch the segments from this or any other edition of AZ Illustrated, you may visit our website at news.azpm.org. I'm Georgia Davis. Thanks for watching.